Hello, 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 it's coffee time. So I've just been sneezing. It's always good to get caught out sneezing before you start, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, coffee time. It's GCSE results day, according to the Daily Mail website. Yay! Does anyone care? Does anyone care? It's been such a long time. Isn't it the first time they've done GCSEs for like 2 years or something? Which maybe just feels like it. Top grades for GCSEs have fallen by a record amount and are down on last year, but higher than pre-pandemic levels. They're up and down, up and down. There's just I can't even be bothered. There's pictures of young people being excited. We can do that. Look, there's some pictures of young people being excited, and there's some more people, and there's some more people. Look, they're levitating in the air, and he's really happy. I'm so glad that when we were young, no one covered us in the newspapers, so pictures were not snapped. We actually had results sent to us in the post on flimsy bits of paper, and then you get your certificates a while afterwards. Those were the good old days, but now everything's done on social media and the Daily Mail website. So yeah. Good news, everybody. No, is this good news or no? Waitrose and Lidl are going to be selling stunted and wonky fruit. Fruit that's been affected by the drought. Apparently, I mean, like you're going to notice a wonky potato or a slightly askew carrot. But yeah, they're saying that you're going to get weird-looking fruit. And again, you know, the internet responds. We have a weird-looking carrot here. Look, there you go. In fact, he's quite happy. He's got little arms. Look. Thanks, Daily Mail website. Or you might get this curious-looking tomato. Look, looks like a duck, a duckling. I don't know. You almost get two tomatoes for the price of one there. But yeah, again, I don't know if you've noticed, but vegetables aren't meant to be uniform, and people don't really care, you know. But supermarkets are weird, and so they send buyers out to buy perfect examples of fruit and veg, when basically, you know, in the old days, we used to go down the market, ask for, you know, so many pounds of spuds, and the man used to bag them up. We didn't check into every individual spud, you know. And it's raining. It's raining in the UK. You can hear the light pitter-patter of rain. And yeah, 5,000 lightning bolts struck the southeast overnight, apparently. And look, this is a picture of some people in the rain. There you go. I wonder if they got her to pose for that, or if that's a genuine picture. And look, there are some people walking over London Bridge in the rain, with Tower Bridge in the background. Yeah, so yeah. And of course, there's floods. There's flood water because all the drains are blocked. Yeah, it's raining. Hooray! I'm sure we'll get some good stories soon. Well, the rain has meant that the Reading Festival's a bit damp, because this is happening this weekend. 100,000 people are expected to attend, and we've got the usual pictures. You know, welcome to Reading. And yeah, it looks like fun, doesn't it? It looks fun. And there are the puddles. But you know, the young people love it. You know, there they go, in there with their bin bags. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you really want to go and stand in the rain? Except for these two lads. These two lads do not give a monkeys. Look at them. Look at their pale, pork-like flesh, moist in the summer rain. And here's some mud-splashed legs to look at. Each picture tells a story that mere words couldn't even get close to. We got. Who likes cults? Does anyone like cults? This is an alternative Christian group that was founded in the 1980s, called the 9 o'clock service. It was up in Sheffield apparently in the 90s, and young worshippers went along to it, and it was seen as a successful experiment by the Church of England to get young people to go, because it was founded during the 80s, but it got more popular in the 90s, and they featured bikini-clad dancers and light shows, and even Archbishop Canterbury George Carey, former Archbishop, was a fan. Apparently, it's probably all those bikini-clad girls, and here they are. It ran. Here they are having a good time. I mean, it doesn't look cult-like at all, does it? But yeah, but apparently they've been investigated now, because even though at its height it attracted 600 parishioners, there have been allegations of naughtiness abounds. And a man and a woman have been arrested on suspicion of various sexual offences that may have happened in Sheffield between 1980 and 1995, when the cult was at its height. And they're asking anyone who was involved, who may have been a victim, to come forward. So, who had that on your cult bingo card? I didn't. Again, I don't even remember them. Good news, everybody. The energy cap is going to be announced tomorrow. Energy cap. Oh, who's excited? And this will dictate the price of energy bills in October. And they reckon we're looking for an 80% hike in fuel bills. An analysis from Cornwall Insight predicts the average cost will increase to $3,554 in October. So that's nearly tripled for us. And $4,650 in January. A jump from $1,971, which is today's cap. Much higher than last winter's $1,138 cap. And again, ours comes in over the year. It comes in at about $1,200. I think it's about £100 a month. So, hey, this is going to be fun. We'll have to wait and see what happens, won't we? But yeah, I don't advise not paying your bill, because they'll cut you off and you will be cold. And then the bailiffs will come and they will take your things away, which is great if you haven't got things. But if you have things, you don't want the bailiffs to turn up. And if you stop the bailiffs attending, then that bill goes up, and it goes up, and it goes up, until they take all your things away. So they've actually got us by the testicles. Yay! So yeah, but if you've got fuck all, go ahead, don't pay your bill, because they can't take nothing. But you might end up in prison. You might, I doubt it, but at least you'll be warm and they will feed you. So there's always an upside, isn't there? There will always an upside to everything. So there we go. And this is, don't go to Marbella, because this is outside the Lemon nightclub, where bouncers physically attack two Brits, apparently. It's pretty, I don't know, that's a normal night out, isn't it? Way, it's getting a bit handy there. So yeah, don't go to Marbella, just stay at home. Just yeah, it's no good, is it? we have more dinosaur news. Erulu loves dinosaurs. Oh, okay. This is a fossil of a giant marine lizard called a Thassalottitan atrox, and it grew up to 30 feet long. And they reckon it was at the top of the marine chain. And they've got this this new fossil. This is University of Bath's, just the skull and teeth, and now enabled it to devour other large sea creatures. And here is its skull. They've been doing research into this particular marine predator, and it gives you an idea of its size here. That's a Thalassottitan atrox, and Orcinus orca, that's your killer whale, and then there's us. Gives you an idea of how big it was. But yeah, it lived in the Cretaceous period, that's 66 million years ago, and yeah, they reckon it ate everything. And this, I guess it's almost, they've got it looking like a relative of the killer whale. Look, they've got it flipping another creature into the air. This is a picture they've drawn. Of course, I don't know what colour it is. It could have been bright pink with mauve spots. That's the thing about dinosaurs. We don't truly know what colour they were. So we tend to look at the lizards and the animals that we have today and put their colours onto them instead. So, but meanwhile, in North Korea, Kim Jong-un, remember that country is very, very poor, but he has spent loads of money building 8 new luxury mansions, I reckon, and they've got some new analysis reckons he's been busy. He's had the builders in, and has been building some new mansions, which is nice, like Knots Landing. Who remembers Knots Landing? Oh, just me then. And they reckon the reason he's done this is just so no one will know where he is if they want to assassinate him. Okay, I don't think he's really thought this through, because unless he's got Kim Jong-un lookalikes living in those palaces, they're just going to track him by drone or satellite, surely. Wildlife news, and this is Sherry Russo. She's 61. She's a retired nurse, and she's doing the most amazing dance here. Let's have a look at her dancing. You could say she's doing the foxtrot. Way, go on, love. Needs some funny music to play along to this. But what's happening here is she's actually been attacked by what they reckon was a rabid fox. This was in our own front yard in New York last month, and well, she gave it a good hiding, and she said, "Oh, I wouldn't want to fight her. I wouldn't want to take her on," because she certainly handled that fox. But they did catch the fox. It was a grey-haired fox, and it was euthanised. And when they tested it, it did test positive for rabies. And hopefully she's going to be okay. I guess they would have given her all manner of shots, because rabies. Do you remember the old posters for rabies? If you're in the UK with the skull and everything, no one's ever survived rabies. It's one of the few illnesses that it's been totally 100% fatal. But yeah, let's hope that Sherry's okay. And she did a great job seeing it off. And her hand. Let's show you the wounds that she received. She got some really bad. Well, they've censored it because it's far too graphic for us. But you can see it made a meal of her hand. But yeah, let's hope she makes a full recovery. But wow. Meanwhile, the clowns are back. Oh no. I don't know if you remember, but a few years back we had a spate of clown attacks where people dressed as clowns and jumped out on people. On Hampton Pier in Kent on Monday night, a 17-year-old claimed he was followed by a clown who was hiding behind the sea wall. A mother on Facebook said, "My 17-year-old has just come home with his friend, and he followed home along Hampton Pier, just past the park, by someone dressed in a full clown outfit. They were acting strange, walking fast by him, hiding and crouching behind the sea wall." So yeah, police are just hoping that the clowns aren't back again. And the Daily Mail have provided a picture of a clown for us, just in case we didn't know what a clown looked like, which is useful. So no, it wasn't Boris Johnson. He was in Ukraine yesterday, getting the plaque and showing his support. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm shocked. Steptoe and Son have been accused of a hashtag MeToo row. What? I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Steptoe and Son. It's a great film. Though I don't laugh at it next. I reflect on it with regards to my relationship with my mother. I see it more of a documentary. You dirty old man, indeed. But yeah, the actress Caroline Seymour, who plays Zita in the film, revealed that she stormed off set because the people who were hired as extras got a little bit too handy with her, because in the scene she's a stripper, and we do have a little clip of her here, and she does get manhandled in it. It is part of the plot, and Harold saves her from the audience, so it's kind of part of the plot. But yeah, she is complained that but there, she's 74 now. She said their behaviour was so appalling she refused to film any further scenes. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a bit tricky because, you know, that whole plot is they are meant to be like drunk. It's meant to be like a rugby club, and they are meant to be drunk, and they do get handy with her. So I'm not sure how they would have filmed that without, you know, pulling that one off, as it were. Who misses? But yeah, Me Too strikes again. What are they gonna do? Ban Steptoe and Son? Edit the scene out? I do not know. It is integral to the plot. I don't know, but maybe they should have used a stunt double. I don't know. Maybe a man in a dress as the stunt double should have dealt with that bit. Oh dear. Oh, this should be good. I don't know if this will have bullet points, but you know, there's the Ryan Giggs thing going on at the moment. Ryan Giggs is in court at the moment, isn't it? He admitted to being a serial adulterer. He's never been faithful to anyone, but that's not what he's on trial for. It's about coercive behaviour. And Amanda Platel has written a little opinion piece in the Mail today, detailing the secret signs your other half is having an affair. So he starts manscaping. Okay, so if he has a trim, he's definitely playing away. No, see, the thing is, I've got more hair on my balls than I've got on my head, and it looks a bit odd. There you go. His tastes go oddly highbrow. Well, my missus knows my tastes have always been highbrow. He says he's doing things for you. Okay. But, you know, don't you want to make people happy? He's always squeaky clean. Oh, that's me, because I stink to heaven. His drinking habits change. I don't drink anymore. He drops the Marks and Spencer's underwear. Well, I do need some new underwear because I've got holes. He suddenly turns against your friends. I've never done that. He gives you a no-name nickname. I know why they do this. It's so you don't get mistakes. And what people do, what men do, is they give their mistresses the same nickname as their partner, so then they don't. See, my old man, when he ran off, he ran off with a woman whose name was the same as my mum's name. So then he never made that mistake in the height of passion. And in an improvement in sex, if your sex life suddenly improves or increases, he's having an affair. Well, there you go. I think that's a load of bullshit, really. Yeah, I don't know. God, there's some really bad stories here. There's some miserable stories too. Oh, here we go. We've got another scientific story. This is they've discovered an exoplanet. A load of international researchers led by Charles Cadio, a PhD student from the Université de Montréal, members of the Institute of Research for Exoplanets, IREX, have discovered a planet, they reckon, which is completely ocean. They reckon it's covered in a complete layer of thick water. And this planet is 100 light years from Earth, so it's just past the corner shop. You know, you walk down just a little bit further than that. And they found the new world by using surveys from NASA's TESS space telescope, and this is I guess this is an impression of what the planet looks like. I mean, I don't know about you, but it doesn't really look like much. But they reckon, see, it doesn't. What's that look? It just looks like a marble, doesn't it? Really. But they reckon it could be similar to Waterworld. You know, Kevin Costner's film, Waterworld to go. But yeah, who'd have thunk it, eh? By using the test spacecraft, it's got 4 cameras and it can view. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, they don't really know, do they? They don't. They don't know. Nobody knows. Right, where else is there? Come on, give me another story before I move on. Oh yeah, I don't know if you know this. Gary Busey's been in trouble. Legendary actor who's as crazy as a box of frogs. He's in a whole heap of trouble because he was at a convention at the weekend in New Jersey. He was at the Monster Mania fan convention over the weekend. And the 78-year-old has been accused of multiple sex assaults, and he's been accused of trying to hook one woman's bra and grabbing 2 other women inappropriately, right? But they reckon early Saturday afternoon he was sitting in a Malibu park like this. They say he's got his trousers down. I mean, I think I know what he's doing here. I know what he's doing. They said he was smoking a cigar and he had his trousers down, but I don't think he has. I think what he's doing, you know, is he's using his joggers. They are down, but he's using them as a little sun shield, so he can look at his mobile phone. He's checking his texts. I think that's what's going on. But yeah, he's denying everything, and you've got to remember Gary Busey was in the best Predator movie, Predator 2. But yeah, he is quite crazy. Meanwhile, this is the story of Isaac Jennings. He's a fellow in Childersburg, Alabama, right? And this happened in May. And what happened? Well, he was outside, and he was doing his neighbours a favour, and he was watering his neighbour's lawn because he knew they were away. And someone called the police on him, and the police turned up and arrested him. Look, serious, he's just, and then he gets taken away. It's like, wow. But he said, I was worried that they were going to shoot him because you know what those police like. We saw him beating up that guy the other day. But yeah, all he was watering his neighbour's yard, and he explained it to the police, but they still arrested him and took him away because apparently another neighbour had reported him. You know, shocking behaviour, shocking. Can't even do your neighbours a little help there. Meanwhile, Exeter University has put a trigger warning on Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The novel, which was written in 1884, which is a sequel to The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, has a warning because it uses the N-word throughout. And I don't know, I remember reading that as a kid and being shocked by the N-word because I don't think I was exposed to that word until Roots was on the television, and I was deeply shocked by it then because it's about slavery and whatnot. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. If you ever saw that, it was on in the, I guess, late 70s or whatever. Alex Haley, I think that was the guy that wrote it. And it had a profound effect on me, and the N-word was, just never say it. And I remember being shocked by it when I read it back in the day. So in this case, I kind of agree with this trigger warning because I know it upset me. And again, I think people forget just how common that word was back in 1884, and it's of a time. So maybe just in front of the book they need to talk about historical context and things like that, because I think we can forget how language has changed and how words have become used differently, Meanwhile, 4 hours queues at Eurotunnel. Le Shuttle has been stuck overnight. In Le Shuttle. I know they had to walk along. They had to walk along inside. I mean, here it looks like they look like they're being smuggled across. I should get the people smugglers to do it. But yeah, there have been delays on Le Shuttle, and some of them had to even, like I say, walk down the tunnels. They'll give the people smugglers ideas, won't they? But yeah, it's all gone Pete Tong on the Eurotunnel. There you go. Good news, everybody. A CO2 crisis could lead to food shortages. Hooray! CF Industries have decided to halt production at its Billingham plant on Teesside to produce CO2, and it produces 40% of the country's carbon dioxide, and it's used in the food industry for various things. It's used from in the slaughterhouses for killing chickens and pigs, to put in the bubbles in soft drinks, and they also put it in packaging to keep foods fresh. And so could be food shortages. So we've got food shortages. There's going to be blackouts. We can't even afford to buy the food anyway. So is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Now they reckon. Remember we covered this the other day about the super yacht that sunk. Do you remember? There's been further details. There? See that? Well, they reckon it may have belonged to a Russian oligarch. Oh my God! Putin did it. Putin did it. And we also have a follow-up to the WPC, who had a P in Urban Outfitters. She got found guilty of it. So maybe they did a DNA test on her P. But good news, real good news, everybody. Blur are preparing to make their music comeback. Yes, with a Wembley gig to mark the 30th anniversary of Parklife. 30 years. Oh my God. That's so when's that? So that'd be 2024 then, wouldn't it? Because it was 94 that Parklife was out. So that'd be good. But there was a story I've got. Again, I don't know if I can find it now. Let me just. Yeah, there was a story going around, which Capitol Records had signed a rapper, a virtual rapper called FnMika, and he's not real, obviously, because he's virtual. But it's supposed to be like the first AI rapper. And here's the image. Right, and talking about Blur, Damon Albarn reminded me of this, and Capitol have actually dropped it. Because I was worried that there was it cultural appropriation, because FnMika has had more than 1 billion views on his TikTok account, and the artificial intelligent musician has been given the appearance of a black male cyborg, and has used the N-word over and over again. And people say, well, this is wrong. This is culturally insensitive. And Capital Music Group have just said, oh, and backed away from it and dropped the rapper. But it got me thinking about Damon Albarn, because he has Gorillaz, and Gorillaz features him and Jamie Hewlett, two of the most white middle-class men in the UK, created a multicultural virtual band with Gorillaz, which features a black drummer and a Chinese, I think she's Chinese or Japanese guitarist. Now, is that cultural appropriation too? Will they be banning Gorillaz? Because they're not real, they're virtual too. Yeah. So, watch out, Gorillaz. Watch out. Meanwhile, some good news here. This is the story of Yogi the Spaniel, who somehow he fell off a cliff, 100-foot cliff, yeah, where was it? This was at St Mary's Bay in Torbay, Devon, and poor old Yogi, she thought he was done for, but luckily the lifeguard were on hand, and they managed to find him. Here they are, and he was wedged in the cliffs, and they managed to get him out and save him. So there he is. He's quite happy that he's been rescued. We've got another picture of him there. Poor old Yogi. Look, there he is. Fancy falling off a cliff. But he was lucky because there was a ledge. There's a better picture of the ledge, and you can see where he is. I mean, he could have really hurt himself, couldn't he? But yeah, got to be careful. I'm going to end with another. Well, no, actually, this is a really important medical news. This is from Italy, and I put this in the folder. An Italian male, right? He went on holiday, and he returned to Spain, and he wasn't feeling very well. He got fatigue, fever, sore throat. 9 days after returning from a trip to Spain, because he's Italian, went back to Spain. I think I might have mangled that. But yeah, the unidentified man reported all this. So the Journal of Infection reported that he managed to get the hat trick. He got the hat trick, yeah, because not only did he test positive for COVID, right? He got the COVID. That was on July 2nd, and then July 5th, right? He developed a rash, and they tested it again. He developed monkeypox, yeah, and in September, right? This is back in 20. This is 2022, yeah, right. And then later on, I found him HIV positive. He got all three. Wow, that was a busy holiday, wasn't it? But yeah, he had admitted to having unprotected sex whilst on holiday. But talking of monkeypox, we're going to end on a delightful monkey story. This is the story of Millie the Marmoset, and this is kind of sad because she was filmed being flushed down the toilet, and this is an actual still from the movie, that the film that they put up on, I guess it was on social media. And Millie the Marmoset was also offered cocaine, chased by a dog, and just basically terrified by her owner. But the RSPCA investigated, and they seized her, and she's now been rehomed at Monkey World in Dorset, and has even got a boyfriend. Isn't that good? But yeah, RSPCA Inspector Sophie Daniels, who rescued Millie, said this was a very disturbing case, but I'm pleased to see that Millie is doing fantastic, and she's got a boyfriend, Moon, by her side. And Millie's former owner, who they should have named, but they haven't, was prosecuted and banned from keeping animals for life, and received a suspended prison sentence. No, they should have gone to prison, shouldn't they? Really, I wonder if they. Can we find out their name? Should we do a search? Maybe there's a name. Yeah, Vicky Holland was charged and convicted of 3 breaches of Section 9 of the Animal Welfare Act. Remember that, Vicky Holland, remember that name. And yeah, she did some terrible things. But there we go. Millie the Marmoset is okay. Shall we check the chat room? Because I think I've done more than enough. I think I've gone on far too long. Crikey, yes I have. There'll be complaints. There'll be complaints, I tell you. More complaints than usual. Where are we? We have Stephen Houses in. Are you going to behave yourself? Good. Now it says the move, not the band, but me. The family survived all the bullshit. Alex says, all right, Darry, finally with some rain. Hooray! Harry's in. All right. And W Agree says, yes, the Foxtrot, indeed. That's what they do. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. Thank you for watching. That's it. Remember, you gotta drink it up. Oh yeah.